So good morning and welcome to the fifth session today. Yes, fifth session, sixth, fifth or sixth? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Friday. Huh? Seventh. Yeah, seventh session today. I'm sorry, I was a little confused. Seventh session on our Naac FDP. And today we have Miss Naina, who will be taking the session on student support and progression. Now, let me tell you that Naina Madam, we call her Naina. Naina Madam, we call her, is basically our Naac as well as IQSC coordinator. She's a postgraduate in electronics and postgraduate in management studies from School of Management Studies, Cochin University. And then she has also done her Bachelor of Engineering from NIT Calicut. She has been teaching management as well as internet or as well as electronics and communication also earlier, and currently management. And so she has totally put in almost 19 years of teaching, and she has also qualified in UGC NET also. So if you look at her range of teaching, you would find her, she can teach subjects from information technology to marketing to operations. And she has also been into various accreditations. She was earlier working with technical college. So she has experience in NBA also, and now with Naac also, and been with Naac for so many few years. She has been working on it, and she has been taking care of all the criterias. However, her criteria today she will be talking will be criteria 5, student support and progression. Very active in our group and gives the best of advices, and she is good at actually communicating, writing as well as oral communication also, and she is basically an asset as far as Naipanya Business School is concerned. She will give you details on student support regarding everything regarding student, because as you would have seen when you look at the core of Naac, you will find that the entire Naac process is actually devoted to the students' cause, whether it is placement or whether it is completion of academics or everything, because we are in an academic institution and academics is basically catered, the entire thing is catered basically for students. So students are the people, are the stakeholders who give us actually mileage. When the Naac peer team comes to the campus also, they will be interacting only with the students. Similarly, all the documents that you upload are all pertaining to Naac. But exclusive in criteria 5, exclusively you would find as to how an institution supports in the progression of the student as far as the academics is concerned, and higher studies also. So Ms. Naina would be talking to you, and she has done an in-depth study on that, and she will share as to how we have presented and what things could be done to better the performance also. So I hand over the mic across to Naina Madam for taking up the session on student support and progression, which is coming under criteria 5. Over to you, Naina.
So thank you, Dr. Jacob, for the kind and wonderful introduction about me. And I'm very happy to be here to present the criteria 5, the student support and progression. We have been progressing very well during the last few days with all our criteria members giving wonderful presentations, and Dr. Jacob also giving the initial session, great session. So today we are actually moving on to criteria 5. This is actually, I would call it as the crux of the Naac accreditation process. All the 4 criteria which we have discussed previously, like criteria 1 on curriculum, the criteria 2 on teaching learning, criteria 3 on research innovation and extension, and criteria 4 which we discussed yesterday afternoon about infrastructure and augmentation facilities. Actually, when we look into the Naac accreditation SOP and the manual, we understand that whatever is actual, that is Naac emphasizing on the previous 4 criteria, the outcome can be actually measured on this criteria 5. The whole impact has to come into this criteria 5. That is how we are designing our curriculum, what is the teaching learning process we are deploying in our institution, then the research and innovation activities, extension activities which we are giving to our students, then the infrastructure facilities might be the lab, the language lab, the library, everything together. That whole thing has to actually stand as an outcome for the student. That is what is actually being measured on the students. And this is what actually the peer team also does when they actually come to our institute for the peer team visit. They have extensive interaction with the students. They talk to them, they talk to the alumni, they talk to the current students, and they go that and they visit and see everything, that is how students are actually benefiting from whatever we are giving to them. So this is an ultimate point where the NAC actually emphasizes on. So moving ahead. So this is where actually you can see that is the student support key indicators are, that is the mainly criteria 5, we call it as student support and progression. And the key indicators you can see here are that is student support, that is 5.1, 5.2 student progression, 5.3 student participation and activities, and 5.4 the alumni engagement. And also you can see the point distribution also I have actually shown here. That is for, that is how it is for, that is university, then colleges, affiliated colleges, UG, affiliated colleges, PG. That is, this is how the point system also goes. 5.1, that is, you can see for, to minimize this just. Okay. For affiliate, that is, we were in the affiliated colleges PG because we have a PG course. If you have UG as well as PG course also, you will come under affiliated colleges PG. So this is how the, that is, point distribution is going. So a lot of emphasis, like 50 points totally for affiliated colleges PG, we have 130 points, and for UG alone you have got 140 points, and you can see how the total points are also distributed. So you can understand where NAC is actually putting the emphasis. Lot of emphasis on student support activities. That is what we are giving to our students. And lot of emphasis on student participation is also being given. So this is the first key indicator, 5.1. And it has got again 5 sub criteria are there under student support. We can, that is key indicator 5.1 is student support, under which you have 5 sub criteria are there. That is, first one is 5.1.1, which actually focuses on the government scholarships and free ships that students are actually availing. And 5.1.2 is institution scholarships and free ships, which actually the institution actually provide to the students. 5.1.3 is capacity building and skill enhancement initiatives taken by the institution for the students. 5.1.4 guidance for competitive exams and the career counseling, which the institution actually provides for the students. And 5.1.5 is the student grievance redressal mechanism, which also includes anti-sexual harassment as well as anti-ragging facilities that is being offered by the institution. So we'll take each of these sub-criteria in student support one by one. The first one, 5.1.1, the average percentage of students benefited by scholarships and free ships provided by the government during the last 5 years. And you can see I have put 20 marks. There's a quantitative metrics and 20 marks. Okay, so that is prior to 2019, NAC was actually only allocating 5 marks for this. And more emphasis was actually being given for institution scholarships. But post 2019, NAC has actually changed. That is, they have revised the NAC manual and they have increased the point here from 5 to 20. That is 15 marks they have actually increased on that is government scholarships, which means that actually NAC wants more and more students to, that is institutions to actually initiate students to avail government scholarships and free ships. And this criteria, this sub-criteria is a very challenging part for us also, because we will not know that is how many students are actually getting the money. So first challenge is to make the students apply for the scholarships. That is the first challenge as an institution we will face, because a lot of that is government scholarships are there, scholarships and free ship facilities are there. So from the institution side, which we have to do is that either one person in the office or any faculty handling the scholarships, they have to list out which all are the scholarships that is available, or that means that is being provided by the government. Both state government and central government can be taken. Okay, so first step is actually to list out the number, that is various kinds of scholarships, then advocate this to the students, that is disseminate to the students either through putting it through the notice boards, or somebody can go it and read it out into the classrooms, make them aware about what are the kind of scholarships and freeships from the government, and make them apply. If more and more students apply, only that is we can have more and more people availing scholarships. Might be if 100 students apply, every 100 might not get. So actually we have to increase the number of people applying for these scholarships, create an awareness among students to apply for the scholarship. So that initiative has to happen from the institution. Another challenge which we face in this particular sub-criteria is that when students get the fund, the financial assistance from the government, when the student get that also, we will not know sometimes, because it is actually being credited to their bank account. So again, we'll have to follow up and see that is how many of them have got, like we had some of our students getting nationals, that is NSP scholarship, national scholarship portal. From there, the scholarship, some of them were getting merit and means scholarship, as well as some of them were getting post-matric scholarship. So we made them apply, and that is 4 of our students were getting, but we did not know like how many of them were getting, like 10 of them applied, but we did not know what was actually the outcome. But next year, again, when we open the nationals, NSP portal, we can see that is a certain status come for these applied students, like renewal. So when we see the renewal, it indicates that is the student has been given the scholarship. Then we have to go back to the student and see whether they have received, and collect the screenshots of the funds that has been transferred to their bank account. And that is how we actually gather the information. So this is slightly challenging for us, but a lot of points are here, and this actually really makes a difference in your grade score also. That is, if you can increase the number of government scholarships. So these are the supporting information which we have to actually upload when we actually, that is when we do the SSR. Sanction letter given by the, that is some kind of letter which has been received from the government. Either it can be through the portal, or sometimes a student have received some mail. So all those things have to be gathered, that has to be scanned, and that has to be uploaded. Apart from that, even though they are getting individual communication, we have to gather the information. We have to create a list of, that is, so many students have availed this and this particular, that is scholarship name, number of students, or that is the name of the students, like that we have to form a list in the letterhead, duly signed by the head of the institution, scan it and upload it. Either you can scan it and put it on your website and provide the web link in SSR, or you can, like in the previous session, one of the session, Mr. Mohammed Jasir had already told you about to create the Naac upload link and put it in the SSR. So these are how, and also we need to have the proofs for funds received. These can be screenshots of the fund transfer that student has got from their bank account statement. So you'll have to gather that. So somebody has to actually take up this initiative. This is a screen you will see, that is when you open the SSR for 5 point, that is criteria 5.1.1. Like we have to enter the 5-year data here, 2018-19. If you have got 2 students or 3 students or 10 students, that data has to be entered here. 2007, like whichever is a 5-year data on which we are actually going for the Naac accreditation process. And automatic calculation will come here. That is, your score will, that is, once you enter the data and you press the save button, automatically the score will come here. That is total number of students who have got the scholarship per year divided by the total number of students we have. Suppose we have 100 students, 5 students in this year, 5 by 100 into 100%. So that is how they calculate. And finally, the 5-year data average is being calculated, and that score you can see here. So we can understand that is how many points we'll get for this particular sub-criteria as we upload the data in the SSR. But the supporting document is being given for the data validation, DVV process. When Naac does DVV process, they have to understand whether, that is, we have given genuine data. So the supporting data will actually substantiate to that. Okay, suppose we have given that 50 of our students are getting scholarships every year. And that is, then you will actually get a very reasonably good score here. But Naac will do the data validation by verifying the supporting documents, which needs to have your or list of students duly signed by the head of the institution, screenshots of the fund transfer that has been given, then the approval or that is the name of the scheme and all those things. That is might be the screenshots of the website and all those things can be. So these are the various list of scholarships, just sample list, more and more are there. Okay, just that is I've just put in a few of the government scholarships and freeships which you can actually avail. Post-matric and merit cum means scholarships on NSP portal. Then merit cum means scholarships for students of minority communities that is being given by state government as well as central government. Then central sector scholarship scheme for top class education for SC students. Begum Hasrat Mahal National Scholarship for meritorious girl students belonging to minority communities. Then AICT Pragati Scheme Scholarship for girl students. Single girl child scholarship is again there. Indira Gandhi Single Girl Child Scholarship given by the central government is there. Then scheme for financial assistance for education to children of BD workers, like that iron ore, that is people working in iron. So this is, I just put etc. because these similar schemes, lot of workers, that is kids are being actually given financial assistance for education. So that you can go to the various websites and see. Also, many of the lists are actually being given on the site of AICT, then site of UGC. You can go to those sites and also see. Also visit the MHRD site and there also you can actually get these data. And also make these data available on your website, which all are the scholarships that is being given, so that even students can browse through your website and see. So that is how you disseminate the information. Like Naac also checks that is how you are sending these information or creating an awareness that is among the students about various facilities you are giving. So you can put all these under the scholarship tab. You can put all these schemes also that is in the website, so that let the students come to the office and inquire about that. Also, circulars can be issued on the notice board as well. So this is how we create the awareness among the students. And all these data, Naac peer team will actually verify one day, that is once they come for the peer visit. The second sub criteria is 5.1.2. Average percentage of students benefited by scholarships, freeships, etc. provided by the institution and non-governmental agencies during the last 5 years. This initially had actually 20 marks and Naac actually reduced that to 5 marks. So actually we should understand what is importance again. Rather than giving 100 students institution scholarship, we have to emphasize more on the central or state government scholarships. But we can have a reasonably good students, that is you can offer certain schemes from your side also, so as to get the full complete 5 marks. So all these things you can actually score full marks if you have enough of data. So, and in this, the supporting information, the primary thing you have to start with the institution scholarship is that frame an institution scholarship policy in the letterhead duly signed by the head of the institution, and please do upload this scanned that is policy on the website also, because this definitely the peer team will actually verify before, that is prior they come to the college itself. So have this on your website, have this filed in the file, and based on the scholarship policy only, that is you should have different schemes of scholarships. Like here we have merit cum means scholarships for meritorious students. Then we have student support schemes, which is purely given by the management. For that, management has got a policy. Then we have insurance policy for students, which we put it under freeships. So these are the schemes which we have here. Similarly, each and every institution can have their own schemes, but only thing is that scholarship policy has to be there. This policy can be in your handbook as well as on your website as well. So each and every scheme should have a name, and you can also mention the sponsoring agency. If the institute is giving, you can say institution scholarship. If some other external agency is giving, you can actually mention that agency's name. We had a few of our students actually getting merit scholarships from sponsored by Thrissur Management Association for 2 years. So that also we included in our data actually. So like we can, so that also we should have a list on our letterhead, like mentioning TMA scholarship. So many that is students have availed. This is the amount signed by the head of the institution. And one more thing is that when you provide your institution scholarship, audited, that is audited statement showing the expense on scholarship or freeship should also be included in the supporting document. That is under the head of student support, or that is student scholarships, you can actually include that is a total amount of scholarship you have given to the students each year. That has to be reflected in the audited statements also, and also the proof of fund received by the students. Maybe I can just show you. I can just show you the SSR. I'll just show you how we have given. See, this is how we have to prepare the this is how we have to prepare the list of students. See, that is 3 of our students had central scholarships. So this is how the list has to be prepared, signed by the director, seal, everything. And like this for every year you can do and upload it. So this is the screen you will see, that is when you open the SSR, like again, like we have seen for 5.1.1, you can see the screen here, like you can enter the number of students each year and you will get the score. Next is 5.1.3, the third sub-criterion in student support, that is capacity building and skill enhancement initiatives taken by the institution. And it carries 10 marks. It is again a quantitative metrics. Capacity. So this is purely based on what kind of skill enhancement or capacity building initiatives the institution is actually giving to the students. And Naac has actually offered 4 areas where you can that is develop your capacity building initiatives. One is soft skills, second is language and communication skills, third is life skills, which includes yoga, physical fitness, health and hygiene, and the fourth one is ICT or computing skills. And we can actually opt in the SSR, like the options are given. If we are providing in all these 4 criteria, you can, that is put all of the above, any 3, you can put 3 of the above, 2 like that. And depending on this, your score will also come. So Naac is giving these options, but Naac emphasizes that you should not just stop with one, that is just one training. Naac is actually looking for continuous capacity building initiatives. At least you should have it in every semester or might be 2 or 3 programs in a year. So that is what actually the Naac is looking for, and that peer team will also verify when they come to the campus. That is how we are initiating our capacity building initiatives. It is not that you just observe a yoga training on yoga day. That is not enough. If you're that is giving yoga, might be you can include in your curriculum, or you can have yoga training and as 2 or 3 sessions during the semesters or during the year. So that is what Naac is actually emphasizing. So this is the screen which you see when we opened SSR for 5.1.3. That is, see, these various options are given, and you can that is you can choose any of these options. Only one option can be chosen. And based on this, and also you should have every capacity building initiative which you offer on your website also. And directly the data, the photos that is being uploaded on the website. So all those link can be directly given here. And again, there is a data template that is given by Naac that has to be uploaded here, where you will have various kind of capacity building initiative and additional information. If you have got any reports, geotag photographs and all that, you can actually upload as a Naac upload link here. Maybe I'll show you the SSR. Okay, I think the SSR got closed. Maybe I'll show you. Just a second, I'll just show you the So I hope you can see the SSR. Is it visible? Okay. So this is the data template. This is a data template. See, this is how the data template will look like. That is, we had the soft skill training and you have to give the date of implementation. If you have given on multiple dates, you have to enter all the dates, how many students have participated or enrolled. Then the agency or the person who's providing the training, his or her name, as well as their contact details. Certain cases you can give the attendance, and the supporting documents also have to be there. If you have got any MOU with any organization, you can give that. Certificates given to students, you can put the copy of those certificates. All those things can be done. Slideshow ആയിട്ട് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. So these are the various kind of capacity building and skill enhancement initiatives that can be included. Okay, when NAC mentions soft skill, language and communication skills, life skills, ICT, various of, I'm just giving in suggestions what all can be included. If you are giving. Slides. I hope it is visible now. Okay. So these are the various things which you can include if we are giving any kind of team building, like you're bringing some external person and giving some work on team building. All those things can be actually included under soft skill. Language and communication training, you can have English language training program given by external person, communication skill training. If you have got language lab, if you're giving continuous training in your language lab, that can be included as a language training. But only thing is that NAC is emphasizing on the continuity, not every day, but at least if it is an in-house thing, you can actually, in-house means if you've got in-house facilities like language lab, you can have it every week. But external person, NAC actually emphasizes on having it on a regular basis. So at least I would suggest once in every semester, you should have these kind of training programs. Also, other language training also can be included here, like foreign language. If you're offering training to the students, that also is a capacity building or a skill enhancement initiative. Same way, life skills and yoga sessions can be given. If you are having coaching camps in your campus for any kind of volleyball or any kind of sports activities, you can ask your students to enroll, and that can also be shown, because that will be also on a regular basis. Only thing is that as supporting documents, we'll have to maintain the list of students. Then also hygiene training if you're offering. If you're having gymnasium and health club, if regular basis students are actually attending, I think all those things can be included. Then ICT and computing skills, we have here the Microsoft Excel training sessions we give every that is for every batch we give one training. That means so that we have an MOU and we have a 30-hour session. And also finally students write the examination that is direct Microsoft examination. Whoever is qualifying, we maintain the certificate copies also. Then also in ICT and computer, that is computing skills training, if you're giving or any trainings on cyber security and so all those things can be included. Any kind of specialized IT trainings which you are giving on any other kind of software, if you're giving, like if you have got some library software, any other research softwares, if you're giving, all those things can be included in the ICT and computing skill program. So when you do the capacity building and skill enhancement documentation, segregate the data year wise. Every year you have to segregate like soft skill, whichever, if you're giving all the 4, segregate accordingly under soft skill. That is 1, 2, 3, how many we have given. Then mention the program, like whether the soft skill, language, or whatever it is, name and contact details of the person and the agency. These are the things really that is many of us actually miss out. We conduct, that is where, especially when we go for the first cycle, we don't know what all has to be in the documentation part. So we just conduct the program, that is we have certain photographs and we file it. But it is always better to have Naac actually, or the peer team will look for the copy of the circular, even the DVV process, they'll be looking for all these things. The copy of the circular, that is from the head of the institution, one circular has to be put up in the notice board saying that that is from this to this date capacity, that is this particular program will be there. Might be yoga training or coaching camps or English language training. So mandatory, a circular has to be there, which has to be filed in the file. Then a brochure for each of the program, and once the program is completed, an event report has to be there, duly signed by the head of the institution as well as the program coordinator, supported with geotagged photographs. Also, as supporting document, we have to maintain the attendance sheet of the students. And always it is better to have signed sheets of the students. If it is online program, maintain the attendance. That is, you can have some mechanism of maintaining the attendance online, but again, signed by the head of the institution and with the institutional seal. And if you have issued any certificates to the students for any of these capacity building programs, please do file the copies of those certificates also. And it is always in the filing process better to have separate files for separate each and every capacity building program. Like soft skill, you can have a file, language, you can have a file, yoga and physical fitness, all those things you can have a file, as well as ICT, you can have a file. So you have got a clarification of what all come. And in that you can that is year wise, you can do the segregation. And it is always better, you can increase your scores by also including the feedbacks of these events. You can have a mechanism, online mechanism of collecting the feedback from the students, and that also can be actually put up in the file. And also upload the program details. What are the names of each and every capacity building program with photographs on your website, so that in that SSR, you can also provide the direct website link. So this will actually make the documentation and the SSR actually complete, so that in data, that is when Naac goes in for the DVV process, that is there is only a very minute chance of getting a DVV. There is a clarification for the DVV, because this actually makes it a complete process. Now moving on to 5.1.4, the fourth sub-criteria of student support. Should we look into the doubts now, or I think so many. Okay. I think Jacob sir has answered. It should be a 30-hour session. Like we are offering that Microsoft training program, a 30-hour session. That's it. Otherwise, it is ideally it is 30 hours. So that is, it is better if it is 30 hours. 30 hours means if you're actually including, that is on one day, how many hours you will get, like that. It is not, a day is not being counted as an hour. In one day you might get 5 hours, so you can have like 6 days program. Okay, so that is, so ma'am, is the programs to be given to all? Yes, definitely. That is number of students, that is added to the points. Number of students Naac actually sees. That is how many students have. That is why I told maintain the attendance. Suppose you have got 50 60 students. It is not necessary that all the students will be present on every day. So that is why we are maintaining the attendance. Always mandatory, make it mandatory to all the students, so that we get maximum number of students. Yeah, what's the rest? That is ideal is all the students. And we have a set of students trained under each skills and rotation. That is that you can actually do. That is how you manage the things. We have the language lab here. One session we give for 30 students, another session for the another 30. So that is how, because you only have 30 computers in the language lab. So that can be according to your facilities that is being offered. Like gymnasium and health club, you cannot put all the 60 students together in the gymnasium. So that and all, you can actually put the time slots. But only thing is that maintain the attendance and put it on the SSR. So I'm progressing. 5.1.4 is average percentage of students benefited by guidance for competitive examination and career counseling offered by the institution during the last 5 years. It carries 10 marks, again a quantitative metrics. So here in this data sheet, you can see that is career counseling data also you can enter, as well as student benefited by the guidance for competitive examinations like might be bank coaching programs, UGC NET. So those kind of competitive examination, if institution is actually offering coaching coaching for those competitive examination. So coaching for competitive examination and career counseling is two major heads in this particular sub criteria. You can maintain the year-wise data with the number of students benefited. Here, Naac is saying number of students benefited means number of students enrolled. It is not that how many have actually qualified. Naac is actually not looking for how many have qualified, that how many students have enrolled. Even the that is career counseling activities. Career counseling activities can be career talks, okay, industry talks, that is people from industry coming and talking. Then might be some kind of career counseling things which we are like career trainings we are giving, that is GD training or personal interview training, might be some kind of exam, that is aptitude test training for that is career. All those things can be included here. So make again most of that is maximum number of students enroll into these kind of programs. So you can say that these many students have enrolled. Okay. So again, the additional information that has to be included when you do the SSR is copy of, again, here I'm putting the copy of the circular is important, which actually, so why the copy of circular is that is used, because how you're making the students aware about these programs. A brochure has to be there with the, might be the photo of the training person and the contact details of the training person, details of resource persons, report, again a program report with geotag photographs. Also, copy of attendance with student signature. If it is an offline program, online you can have your own mechanism of taking the attendance. Year-wise list of students attended duly signed by the institution. It is always maintained, even though we are putting up this in the data sheet provided by Naac. It is always better to have a year-wise list on the letterhead of our institution duly signed by the that is head of the institution. Also, for these capacity building programs, career guidance programs, you can always have a feedback, take the feedback from the students, and that also can be filed. And especially for the career counseling or for the competitive examination, if you are actually putting the information in the newspaper, that is, we have conducted such and such program, this was conducted. So that newspaper cutting also can be scanned, and that can be also filed in the file. So program details, photographs to be also like career counseling, you can have one tab on your website. Same way, competitive exam coaching, if you are giving that also, you can have a tab on the website. Put the program details with the photographs on the website so that you can directly put the web link on also when that is when Naac gives option on the SSR. So all these things you have to take care in the student support and progression activities. Data, that is documentation, is very, very important. So this is how the SSR, that is when you open the SSR, this is how the screen will look like. Average percentage of students, this is being automatically being calculated. Okay, so like career guidance, in the data sheet, you will have separate data sheet for career, that is career guidance as well as competitive exam. But here you are actually giving the number together, that is, so competitive examination, career counseling, every year, how many students have attended, not how many have qualified or anything, how many students have attended. And this is actually being every year, this is being divided by total number of students which we have entered during the extended profile, multiplied by 100, and then taking the average for complete divided by 5, the score will come here. So as many number of students increase, your score will also automatically increase here. Actually, we didn't have the competitive examination coaching because ours is an MBA course. So students going for those kind of competitive exams were very few. So we didn't have that. But if you are doing an UG program and all those things, you can have number of competitive examination coachings which can be provided from the side of the institution. The last sub criteria in 5.1 is 5.1.5, which is very, very important criteria, sub criteria also, that is the student grievance redressal mechanism. The institution has a, that is, the institution has a transparent mechanism for timely redressal of student grievances, including sexual harassment and ragging cases, 5 marks. only that is, this is, if you document it very well, you will get the complete 5 marks. And options are also given: implementation of guidelines of statutory or regular bodies like from AICT or UGC, whatever you are actually implementing. University guidelines will be there. All those things you can take the copy and file it. Then organization wide awareness and undertakings on policies with zero tolerance. You can have posters or hoardings within your campus everywhere. Take the geotag photograph. That also can be uploaded in the SSR. Also put it on the website, your ragging, anti-ragging policy, your anti-sexual harassment policy, your student grievance redressal policy, everything can be put up on the website. And the third one is a mechanism for submission of online and offline student grievances. Like, what is a mechanism your institution have for the students to put in their grievance? So you can, like, you can have it on the website. You can, might be grievance redressal cell, mandatory, it has to be there. Student grievance redressal cell has to be there. You can have grievance boxes put up in the institution, that is some places in the institution. So all those things you can actually mention in your SSR as well. And the timely redressal of grievances through appropriate committees, how the institution is actually doing the redressal activities based on a timeline. So actually we have to also upload a grievance redressal report also have to be uploaded. That I'll show it on, show you during the supporting documents. In that you'll have to mention that in how many days actually you have taken up this grievance and how you have closed this grievance, and that is a timeline is also very, very important. So if you have all the 4, you can give all of the above. Any of the, if you don't have any of that, is one of the things you can, like that, you can give the options. This is how your SSR screen will look like when you open the SSR. You can give the option. So we had all the things. So we were at the, so we gave A as option. Upload the additional information, like you should. And here the mandatory thing I'll just show you, that is what all things you should take in action at the institution level. Okay, to have a very good documentation process. One is the policy for each mechanism to be made on institutional letterhead, duly signed by the head of the institution. If you have a student grievance redressal cell, you should have a policy. So you should have a cell, you should have a policy for that. You should have members from faculty, head of the institution, students, everybody can be included in the particular cell. Same way for anti-ragging, you can have an anti-ragging cell, you should have an anti-ragging policy in the letterhead, duly signed by the head of the institution, put it on the website, also file it, document it. You can have an anti-sexual harassment cell, again with the staff members, head of the institution, as well as students present in it. And then again, have a policy, put it on the website, document it. Okay, so that has to be there. Committees to be formed with student members in it. That is what I told: grievance redressal committee, anti-ragging committee, and anti-sexual harassment committee. Then put up the awareness posters and boards across the buildings, every floor, everywhere. That is certain places you can actually exhibit the posters and boards. Also certain like anti-ragging, which is a contact numbers that can be given so that the students can contact. Then also file the anti-ragging affidavits, which is actually mandatory now. File these anti-ragging affidavits taken from the students, that also maintain as a file in the office. Then also from the part of each of these cells, we can organize seminars, again, to create awareness among the students. Anti-ragging, that a seminar for anti-ragging might be seminar for anti-sexual harassment. You can invite the source persons, and might be the police officers, or might be some lawyers, or might be somebody in the, that is in the sexual harassment, some cell of the government. All those people you can bring in, and you can organize seminars. Again, document it. Simply organizing a seminar will not work. Have a poster, have a circular, have a poster, maintain a report, maintain the attendance of the students, and file it. And when you, like 5.1.5, you have, that is 3 of these cells, maintain separate files for 3 of these committees and document under it.
AICT now is online.
Now AICT, if you are an institution that is having the AICT accreditation, that is AICT has an online that is student grievance mechanism is also there. So make your students register on that. So that also will add up to your points. So supporting documents are, when you have committees, minutes of the meetings have to be documented, proof of the constitution of the committee, that is, these are the members, again, signed by the head of the institution, document it. Then document for the mechanism of redressal of the student, that is grievances, how you are going to do this. So that mechanism have to be that is documented. Reports of grievances and mechanism with timeline. This is what I told you earlier also. Then web links of the report. All these things can be put up on your website also. Provide the web link. Geotag photographs also can be put up, that are like posters and all those things, whichever you have put it across your buildings. You can also that is support with the geotagged photographs. Now moving on to the next key indicator, that is we were discussing on student support. Now moving on to the next key indicator, that is student progression. Altogether, it has got 30 marks, student progression, and mostly it is quantitative metrics itself. Student progression 5.2 again has got sub criteria. The first sub criteria is 5.2.1, the average percentage of placement of outgoing students during the last 5 years. And it has got 10 marks. This is purely a quantitative metrics. Placements prior to 2019, actually Naac was actually putting a lot of emphasis on this. It had actually 15 points, but now Naac has actually reduced this to 10 points. So again, you have a data template with list of students placed, name of the company, CTC, etc. That Naac gives you the template. You will have to maintain the template with the data of students for the 5 years you are going in for the Naac accreditation. So that data has to be maintained. That has to be uploaded in the SSR. Then you should have a placement file. That is, you should have a that is when you that is as a supporting document for this criteria. You should have a placement cell, you should have a placement officer, and you should also have a placement policy, and the placement cell file also has to be maintained. Okay. Also, that is when you maintain this data template, like you're giving list of students, like 1, 2, 3, each of the student, his or her name, the company he or she is working, the CTC they are drawing, and the year of their study. This has to be supported by that is the offer letters. The scanned copies of the offer letters have to be documented. And definitely the peer team will verify, and sample offer letters you can actually upload as supporting document to your SSR as well. And for placements, both in-house placement drives and pool campus drives, which our students attend outside, also will be considered. Only thing is that you will have to document the offer letters. Otherwise, it will not be taken. And also one thing, if the same student is getting multiple offers, Naac only takes takes only one offer. Suppose a student gets 2 or 3 offers, but you can only count it as 1. You cannot count it as 3. Okay, so you should ensure that maximum number of students are actually being placed so as to increase the number. We actually got a very decent score in this because our placements were, that is for the last 5 years, was fine for us. So we got a decent score in this. Supporting documents, placement cell report, also placement cell, you can file the report like list of students placed, again, duly signed by the head of the institution, and you can upload to website and put the website link, or you can give the Naac upload link in the SSR. So a lot of documentation is there in this particular criteria. And all these documents, placement documents, have to be maintained in the placement cell itself, not with anybody else, whoever or the teacher who is actually handling the placements. So this is how your that is SSR, when we open it, will look like. Like we'll be entering the number of students placed each year. It will be divided by this, and again the average will be taken, and you will get a score here. Uploading the information, see, that is list of students that is being placed. Again, that is Naac data sheet is also there, where that is each student name, company, CTC, and the year. Like that, 5-year data has to be maintained, and whatever you have uploaded on the website, the placement policy, all those things you can give it as additional information. The next sub-criteria in 5.2 student progression is average percentage of students progressing in higher education during the last 5 years. This actually previously it had 10 points, but Naac actually increased it to 15 points prior to 2000, post 2019. So placements, they reduced from 15 to 10, and this from 10 to 15, they actually increased. So this we can show like number of outgoing progression to the higher education. If it is a UG college, you can show the students progressing to PG, that is PG courses. If it is PG, you can show it to PhD. If it is so like that, if you're offering PhD programs, you can show it to postdoc programs as such. Only students who got admission for immediate higher education can be considered. Suppose your UG student has gone in for PG program, and after PG he or she has gone for PhD program. That PhD you cannot show. The immediate higher studies from your institution to another institution, only that can be shown by us. So because actually we lost a lot of that is points here, because we don't have, because it is an MBA program, most of the students go in for placements, and there is none of them actually going for higher studies. So we actually that is lost marks in this. And also in three criteria, Naac actually gives opt-out metrics. So criteria 5 had one option, and I think we opted out this metrics. And supporting information here is proof of admission letters actually students are acquiring when they get admission, take admission in another institution. You can also support it with copy of the ID card of the student once they have taken admission there. Also, the student, if he or she has to go in for higher studies, they have to take transfer certificate from your institution. So the copy of the TC also can be filed. And if they once they have completed, like 5-year data you are maintaining, by the time some of your students might have completed their immediate higher studies, once they have moved from your institution, copy of the higher degree certificate also can be filed. So this is how you can actually file. So if it is UG to PG, you can maintain list of students who are moved out for PG, signed by the head of the institution, can maintain the list, support with these kind of copies of ID card, admission letters, degree certificates or transfer certificates and all those things. So this is how the screen will look like when you open the SSR. Again, number of outgoing, total number you can actually give. If you have got UG as well as PG, you can give the combined number for that is every year, and this will be actually divided by this, and finally the score will be calculated. You have the data template as well. Now 5.2.3, the third sub criteria in 5.2, that is average percentage of students qualifying in state, national, international level examination during the last 5 years. And Naac has also given the kind of examinations like JAM, CLAT. If it is UG courses, you can do all these things, CLAT, then GATE, GMAT, CAT, GRE, TOEFL, civil services, state government and other central government examinations, which people are actually qualifying, like NET, SET and all those things. So here again, you have got two kind of subsections are there, like Naac is providing. Number of students qualifying in state, national, international level examination, as well as number of students appearing. So emphasis from our side, from the institution side, has to be to increase the number of students appearing, because qualifying is not in our hands. Students have to qualify these examinations, but always we can actually make students or initiate students to appear for the state, national, international level examination, because that can be done. So we can make, so if it is a UG course, you can actually create like these kind of awareness programs in your college and make students write all these kind of examination. If it is PG course, you can initiate them to appear for, might be civil services, might be for UGC NET, all those things you can initiate, that is your students to appear for this examination. So appearing, that is in our hands, but qualifying is as per the students when they qualify. So here, this number actually we can increase so that we can at least get a decent score. And for qualifying, the supporting document is scanned copy of the grade cards which they have achieved. Suppose few of your students have qualified CAT, they'll get a score sheet. That score sheet, you file a copy. List of students year-wise, you can maintain the list. If it's a UG college, you'll have number of students actually going in for these kind of examination. So for each examination, you segregate the list, put it on the letterhead, signed by the head of the institution, and you can put a copy. And also qualifying certificates of students year-wise also you can actually maintain. And for appearing in these examinations, you can always keep the scanned copy of the hall ticket of the students who have appeared. So this is how the documentation goes in for this 5.2.3. And one more thing, in the absence of the certificate, like if you don't have hall ticket of the student who have appeared, NAC will not give any points. If you're simply maintaining the list, you will not get any point. If your student has actually qualified, either you should have the scorecard or the certificate he or she has obtained, that has to be filed. Otherwise, NAC will not give any point. And also, any kind of job recruitment exams will not be considered. Suppose a student is qualifying a PO examination of a bank, that will not be considered. Okay, any kind of job recruitment examination will not be considered. This is purely for for the next level. So this is how the SSR will look like, average person students qualifying in the state, national, international level examination, and each year number you can give. So here you can see NAC is asking for qualifying as well as students who are appearing. So if it is minimal, here if we can increase, definitely the score will also increase. So these are certain tips to actually improve your scoring. Then next is 5.3, student participation and activities. That is again a quantitative metrics. This is again very challenging for the institution, because it is basically on the number of awards, medals for outstanding performance in sports, cultural activities at university, state, national or international level. So here we should actually take up the students who are actually interested in sports or games and give them extensive coaching, get them into university teams or state teams or national teams. Then you can actually get points here. So the support, that is things that can be filed for this, is e-copies of awards and certificates that is they have received in sports or cultural. Both options are actually being given. So e-copies of awards and certificates they have obtained. Also maintain a list of students who have won the awards duly signed by the head of the institution. That is year-wise data has to be maintained, might be 2019-20. So many students, like we had 3 of our students getting that is national level awards in games. So we actually maintained a list of 3 students, that is which is a game he or she has got duly signed by the head of the institution, and that e-copy can be that is copy can be filed. Also you can upload the data on the website. Also post the photographs of these students on the website. That also can be used as a supporting document. Also NAC has got that is a data template where you can actually enter the data. And one more thing which we have to take into consideration here is that if it is a team event, suppose it is 5 of your students are in the university volleyball team, and they have won a national, that is at national level, they are the winners, Calicut University, because we are affiliated to Calicut University. 5 of our students, if they are in the volleyball team of Calicut University, they have won awards at the national level, it will be only taken as 1. It will not be taken as 5. But if it is an individual competition, if few of your students have won prizes, that will be taken as separate. Suppose you have got a women badminton player, you have got a male badminton player, both of them have won at the national level, that will be taken as separately. Even for the cultural also, it is the same. Okay, 3 of our students, that is 3 of your students were in the drama team of the university. And if they have won prizes in the national level, that is, it will be only taken as 1. But if it is individual competition like essay writing or singing or classical dance, if they have won individual prizes, that will be taken as individual items. So that you have to take care when you do the document, that is when you do it in the data template. Don't enter multiple things, then definitely NAC will go, that is ask queries during the data validation. Because in the certificate, they'll understand this is a team event. So that is why the supporting documents you have to upload. Also participation in Republic Day parade, if your students are there in the NCC team, that participation in the Republic Day parade will also be considered here. So next is 5.3.2. This is one qualitative metrics in this criteria 5. Actually, there are only 2 qualitative metrics in this criteria 5. Rest all are quantitative matrices. That is why a lot of documentation is actually coming in. And this qualitative metrics, this is where the institution actually facilitates students' representation and engagement in various administrative, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. And here they have already given the suggestion that the student formation of student council in the college, student representation on various bodies as per established process and norms. And here you have to give in a 500-word description. So I think most of the colleges will have their student council will be there, because it is always mandatory from the university side to have that is a student council. If it is yours as a standalone institute or a deemed institution autonomous, that is, you will have to formulate a policy to form the student council, have a mechanism to form the student council that can be explained here. Please don't stop with that. Again, you can see that student representation will be there in various bodies. Like IQAC will have student representation. Your student grievance cell will have student representation. Anti-ragging body will have student representation. Again, might be you will have in the placement cell, students will be there. Sexual harassment cell, students will be there. Okay. All these can be actually included in this 500 words, but highlight it. Student council, this is our mechanism we have included, and what are their activities. Anti-ragging cell, we include, that is, we include students in the anti-ragging cell, and this is how they contribute to that. Everything can be included in this 500 words, and enrich your 500 words content here. Make sure that you include within the 500 words. Okay. So student council can be included here. Student representation, various committees can also be mentioned. But only thing is that when you mention all these things, you should have supporting data for this. For various representation in various bodies, you should definitely file the meeting minutes where the students have actually signed their attendance. Okay, and student council, you should have how you have formed the student council, the mechanism for that, the documentation has to be given. Again, the circular, the notices issued by the institution for conducting election or any other similar formats that has to be maintained. Geotag photographs, the complete election mechanism have to be maintained. Also, you can include the activities initiated by the student council as well. But when you have other committees, please file separate filing for each committee have to be done. And documentation, all the activities under student representation body. If they are conducting any programs in the college, please document that and mentioning that this is the student council initiative, then only it will be taken here. So here actually Naac is actually looking in for the participation, that is student participation is the key indicator in this particular criteria 5.3. One they are seeing as how they are participating in the national and international level or state level. Now within the institution, how we are initiating the student participation. The next sub-criteria here in student participation activities is how we are actually organizing student activities in our institution. That is what is actually being shown here. Average number of sports and cultural events, competitions in which students of the institution participated during the last 5 years. So the previous criteria, you have actually seen like how many medals they have won national, international, state level. Here, Naac is actually emphasizing on participation. Participation is the key factor here. So from the institution level, we have to initiate a lot of programs to ensure that students participate. A lot of programs means it should come under the clause of cultural and sports. Like we are a management institute, so we never emphasized on cultural and sports activities because we gave more emphasis on organizing management programs here, like best manager, that is HR and marketing events and all those things. But that all those things Naac doesn't consider. Naac only consider the cultural and sports activities organized within the institution. If you are a arts and science college, definitely you will have all these things. So we are again now starting to include all these things into our programs and activities as well. So make sure you have maximum number of participation here. Participation is a key factor, hence more number of students to participate. Conduct every activity as individual rather than under an event. Suppose you are projecting it as an might be a cultural fest, as a single event, you're giving some name and you are having 20 activities under that. But then you can only show it as a single activity. You cannot show it as 20 activities. So might be as a cultural fest you can organize, you can have 5 or 6 activities under that. This is how you can actually increase the number of activities, okay. But certain things you can actually have individual competitions as well. Might be you can that is conduct a drama fest, so that becomes an individual activity. Or might be you are conducting a musical fest in your college and you're conducting that is 4 musical competitions under that, that becomes one activity. So like that you can actually increase the number of activities. Again, for sports, you can have a sports day, you can have few athletic events for the sports day, so that will be counted only as one. Now if you're organizing a football tournament, that will be counted as 1. If you're organizing a cricket tournament, that will be again counted as 1. So like that, organize multiple tournaments so as to increase the number of activities. You need not have 30, 40 activities, but you can have a decent number of activities depending on the number of students again, because you are actually entering the number of sports and cultural activities here. So if you have got only 200 students, for 200 students, how many activities is sensible? Organize only that many kind of activities. If you have got 1,000 or 2,000 students, you can have more number of activities. But again, the supporting documents is again important here. List of students participated in different events. You will have to maintain the student list. You should have event reports for every event conducted. You should have event reports duly signed by the head of the institution, as well as the program coordinator. If the student or teacher coordinator, they should also sign with the college seal. Also supported with the circular for the program, brochure, certificates of copies. There's copies of certificates if you have issued. Definitely for sports and culturals, we will issue certificates. File sample copies of that. Also maintain geotag photographs. And very mandatory that these photographs have to come up in your website, because that will add value to your SSR. Simply just don't file it, put everything on your website, because the peer team, before they come for this, they visit the website. Even during the DVV, the Naac team will also definitely evaluate your website. So put everything on your website as well. Events cannot be split into activities. That is what I told before. Like in every event, you try to include few activities, and like that, conduct multiple events. Now moving on to the final key indicator in criteria 5, that is 5.4, basically focuses on alumni engagement. And this has got 10 points. And in that, the sub-criteria 1 is 5.4.1. There is a registered alumni association that contributes significantly to the development of the institution through financial or other support services. This is a qualitative metrics, and it has got 5 marks. This is how that is when you open the SSR, you can see there is a registered alumni association contributes, and you can, that is if you click the help here, this is a screenshot I put in. When you open the SSR, when you click the help here, you can see what all things actually Naac wants you to put in this 500 words. So here mandatory, you should have a registered alumni association, because Naac, other than that, Naac doesn't consider this. Whatever you file, you will only get 0 points. You should have a registered alumni association. So at least before you go into the process, make sure that you have a registered association. Okay, before you upload the SSR, that is, go through the registration process. Describe the contribution of the alumni association also. That is, in which way the alumni association is actually contributing, not in the monetary way. That is what might be alumni talks are there, alumni is actually helping in placements. All those things you can include here, but should have enough supporting documents. That is, you can have photographs of alumni talks, or might be alumni coming in for recruitments, or alumni. So like that, alumni might be having some kind of MOUs, and all those things you can have, but have document. This is mainly for non-monetary kind of contributions. So supporting documents are copy of registration alumni registration certificate, supporting evidence of alumni contribution and engagement, geotag photographs, and also maintain the event reports duly signed by the head of the institution and event coordinator. Activities, alumni activities are mainly focusing on the non-monetary contributions. That means that can be actually included here. 5.4.2, the last sub-criteria of 5.4, the alumni engagement. It is here they focus on the alumni contribution during the last 5 years, basically the monetary contribution, and this is a quantitative metrics. And they are actually giving you the option. When you open the SSR, you can see various options: less than 1 lakh, 1 lakh to 3 lakh, 3 lakh to 4 lakhs, 4 lakhs to 5 lakhs, and greater than 5 lakhs. So as your college is older, or if it is an institution with heritage, you will have huge number of alumni, and this fund will also increase. If it is a smaller institution, this funds will be definitely, it will be less. But whatever it is, you can show it here. But you have to support it with annual audited statements of accounts of your institution, highlighting the alumni contribution duly certified by a chartered accountant. Simply, you cannot click say this. it has to be supported with this particular audited statement. Then only Naac will actually validate this as a data. Supporting documents can be list of students indicating their contributions signed by the head of the institution. But only monetary contributions will be considered, and amount contributed towards alumni association cannot be considered here, because alumni membership, some fund will be taking it. That cannot be given here. Other than that, any other kind of monetary contribution, that is monetary contributions, can be included here. So that is regarding the alumni engagement. This also has got again 5 marks. So this is basically about criteria 5. We actually start with the student support activities, move through the student progression activities, then comes to the student activities and participation, and finally we come to the alumni. So actually you can also develop a kind of progression activities. You can show that certain students, if you have given them financial aids or student support, if you have given these kind of capacity building activities, you can show the transformation of the students. If those students have been placed and they are, or they are your some of your illustrious alumni, you can even showcase that when you make presentations in front of the peer team. So that will also actually add a lot of value to your this particular criteria, and this has got a lot of emphasis also. So I hope I made a clear presentation. Please ask if you have got any doubts. You can very well ask. They move in PG in the same institute from UG, counted or not? Yes, that will be. Sir has already answered, that will be counted. But only the immediate higher education will be counted. But once they are moved after PG, if they are if from your institute again, if they are moved for PhD, that can be counted. But if they are moved to PG to another institute, and when they move to from there, if they move for PhD, that will not be counted. If they take 1 year after degree, if they take, I think that will be counted, but because they are moving for PG. But only thing is that you will have to find out whether they are moved for PG, and you will have to document it. That is a problem. Anyway, if they are going for PG, they'll come to your institute for taking the transfer certificate. That's why I told you, also maintain a copy of the transfer certificate also. When you issue the transfer certificate, also take a copy and file it, so that you will get the list of students who have moved to PG. Any other doubts? Offer letters need to be students placed through campus placement, in-house as well as outside placements also is considered. That is school drives. When our students go to other colleges and participate, that is also considered. Only thing is that offer letter has to be documented. We don't have geotag photographs. So ma'am, if you're going in for Naac accreditation from this year onwards, at least you should take the geotag photographs, because geotag photographs only Naac considers. Alumni, I think alumni registration has to be renewed. If it is not a registered alumni, you will not get any points there. Counted or not? PhD registration from another institute, but awarded from our institute.
Your
Research center. No, if it is our students only, I think our students' progression. Research center, whether it is counted, sir? Like our PhD, it is counted. Yeah. So if you are a research center, that is counted. That is counted. Ms. Shaima, that so that is actually counted.
See, the guide is from your college.
Yes. Can be state students got placed through competitive exams of PSC in the placement? No, that cannot be given. PSC exam you cannot include.
But semi-government.
In that you can include in the competitive examinations which they have qualified. That can be included. Thank you so much. I hope I have done the clarification. And my presentation was also clear. This will be uploaded definitely as a YouTube link. So please go through that. If you want any clarification, you can there is also contact us. We'll be happy to help you. And thank you so much for your patient listening as well.
Yeah, I hope session has been good. I think this is one area where again some lack of clarity can be there, but I think Naina Madam was able to give you a clarity on this. And as she has mentioned, we are also ready to support you as far as this Naac accreditation is concerned. Because, we believe that by supporting you, we will also learn. So we are open to you. You can always contact us. You can be in touch with us. So if there is any other clarification further also, you can put it in the WhatsApp. And afternoon, we have another session coming on the governance of the institution, how an institution is governed. So you would find actually this till this, up to the fifth criteria, it is mostly pertaining to the students. When it comes to sixth, it is pertaining to the management. Of course, students do have a role, but it is pertaining to the management. Seventh will be what do you do as far as for the community, as well as how do you train students on towards openness towards community issues and all. So thank you very much for being with us, and I hope you have learned. We will take the session forward. Thank you very much. We will meet at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you.